Thomas received the calendar invite on a Tuesday afternoon. His department head had selected him for the company's elite mentorship program. He was paired with a senior director from another division. The director bought him coffee on their first meeting, told him the space was completely confidential, and asked where Thomas honestly saw himself in 2 years. Thomas took a breath, leaned forward, and told him the truth. He assumed he was building a relationship that would accelerate his career. What Thomas failed to understand is that corporate mentorship programs are rarely designed to accelerate your career. They are highly engineered surveillance mechanisms. The organization's singular function in that room is extracting your true intentions without triggering your natural defenses. The mentorship is not a developmental milestone. It is a sophisticated early warning system. This is not a conspiracy. It is a design. The organization presents the mentorship program as a significant investment in your personal growth. It is actually an investment in their risk management. When human resources builds these programs, they do not just match junior employees with senior leaders and walk away. They establish a feedback loop. Mentors are routinely asked by executive leadership to provide informal readouts on their mentees. You assume the coffee chats are private spaces to discuss your frustrations, your burnout, or your ambition to pivot into a completely different department. You are actually handing an executive a direct map of your flight risk. Your mentor is not your therapist. They are a senior operator whose primary loyalty and financial incentives are permanently tied to the company, not to you. Here is the part human resources leaves out. You are told that vulnerability is the key to a successful mentorship. This sounds like modern leadership advice, but it is a structural trap. The moment you confess that you are struggling with your current manager's communication style, you are not receiving coaching. You are generating an informal human resources report. Once the disclosure becomes part of your shadow profile, the organization changes the rules of the game. When you sit down 5 months later to apply for a critical internal promotion, the hiring manager will pivot. They will not reject you directly. They will use the language of alignment. They will tell you they need someone fully committed to the long-term vision of the department, or that they sense your passions might be better suited elsewhere. These are not objective performance evaluations. They are protective measures. The goal is to keep critical projects away from someone who has already confessed their uncertainty to a senior director. The systemic consequence of your honesty eventually materializes in a way you never anticipate. The exact mentor who encouraged you to share your frustrations is the one who quietly warned the executive team that you were not a safe bet for the promotion. Your vulnerability is exactly what disqualified you. You are told to embrace corporate mentorship as a safe harbor. Treat it instead as an extended executive interview. When a senior leader asks you about your long-term plans, you do not confess your doubts. You define your strategic value. You align your answers completely with the organization's stated goals. You use the mentor to extract institutional knowledge, how budgets are approved, how specific executives prefer to be pitched, how the calibration room actually functions. You make it structurally clear that you are an ambitious, reliable asset, not a confused employee looking for emotional validation. Thomas spent 9 months treating his senior director like a career counselor. He thought he was proving his self-awareness by discussing his 18-month plan to leave the industry. The company thought he was a depreciating asset they successfully identified before giving him a larger salary. Knowing the difference between a genuine developmental relationship and an institutional surveillance mechanism is the only way you avoid confessing your way out of your next promotion. If this is the kind of mechanism your company deliberately left out of the onboarding packet, this channel covers it every week. Subscribing means the next one finds you before the situation does.